About 7 years ago, I was leading a team of English teachers on a university campus in China. We were both seeking to be excellent English language educators, and we were also building a thriving discipleship community on the university campus. So I sat down for lunch one day with one of the teachers on my team. And throughout the course of our conversation, I said to this teacher, I just have to admit, I feel like there's some tension in our relationship. His response, yeah, that would make sense because I really don't respect you and I really don't respect your leadership. I feel like I'm more qualified and I should be the team leader. That was a pretty difficult conversation. And to be quite honest, I found myself dwelling on that conversation almost every day for the rest of the year because the tension of that relationship continued. Dwelling is the topic for our discussion today. When we find ourselves dwelling on something like me and this tense relationship, it impacts how we think, it impacts how we feel, it impacts our relationship with other people. At times it impacts our ability to even focus or get things done. So how about you? When was a time that you found yourself dwelling on something? Maybe it was a happy, a joyful moment that you were dwelling on. Maybe it was something hard or painful or difficult. Either way, when you're dwelling on something, it has a significant impact on your whole life. Share with your group your experience of dwelling.
Hello there. Welcome to my dwelling. This deck, the house too, of course, but I love being on this deck. 20 years ago, Darlene came back to our previous house one day and said, I just found the ugliest house you are going to love. And she's right, I love this place. I gotta admit though that there are times when I'm just thinking so much about this place, as does she, that we're kind of stewing about it. What do we need to fix? Can we afford that? Should we try to renovate this? And at times it's almost like as much as dwelling in this place, we're dwelling on it. And whether it be the house or something else, that's when so often I hear the voice of Jesus reminding me of what he says over and over again. Come to me, think about me, be with me. He reminds me of what he says in John chapter 15, where he compares himself to a vine and says, we're the branches. And he says, remain in me as I remain in you. That term is interesting. It has the connotation of reside. Reside in me. Make your home with me. Settle into me. Dwell in my presence, even as I dwell in you. I don't know if you know that in the very earliest days of Centennial Covenant Church, this verse, that picture of a vine and we as the branches, that was the church's very first logo and kind of guiding verse. I'm the vine, you're the branches. Dwell in me. Live in my presence. And I tell you what, nothing matters more. That's the most important thing. The greatest reality that we each have, that we have together as a church family. In your guidebook, the Bearings guidebook, take a look at page 10. And there we have a few questions to think about this relationship we have with Christ. Maybe particularly questions 2 and 3. What are the contexts? where you're most commonly aware of Christ's presence. And then at the same time, what are the obstacles that you face to dwelling in Christ's presence? Take 15 or so minutes with that and then move on to page 11 and there listen to those scriptures printed, and after that follow the Spirit into some responses and some prayer. And as you do that, remember, He's with you wherever you are. He is as real as the house you're in. He's as close as your own breath.